What's cracking, everybody? So, September 11th, almost come and gone. And I contemplated all day whether I'd make a video or not. And there's a lot of patriotism, a lot of nationalism, and a lot of other things that are floating around today. A lot of remembrance for the people that died and in the nasty tragedy. Um, and a lot of people who have suffered since the first responders, the rescue workers, the police, the firemen, so many people that are dying, still dying um, from the aftermath. And not to mention all of the soldiers, all the American men and women dying in what seems to be an endless war. Um, Over a lie, a big lie. Um, you know, people are going to say what they want. You can think what you like. You can call me whatever you like. You can label me. You're free to speak your mind and give your opinion. But um, if you do it, if you you know if you're just going to what I really want to see is people stop being so fucking apathetic. Stop acting like it still doesn't matter. Um, because it's just one of many compounded incidences, events, polarizing events, and one that was very polarizing for many individuals in the last 10 years. A whole new generation of people growing up in a time um, of waning civil rights and human rights to some degree. But the reality is 9/11 is not over. It's not dead. It's not gone. It can never be. Because the real tragedy is the lack of an intense, um, independent, thorough investigation, additional investigations, multiple investigations, reopening this incident, so to speak, and answering a lot of questions. I mean, why would we push this under the rug? Why would we ignore it? Or why would we purposefully shun or ostracize people who would like questions answered by their own government, who does not have a very good history of being truthful and upfront with the people of this country? Let's face it, folks. Let's be fucking honest, shall we? You know, if all else fails, I mean, there's a whole series of things that we could talk about, a whole series of questions unanswered. And say what you want. I don't care. Insult, whatever. Support, insult, question yourself. But, you know, if all else fails, follow the fucking money, people. Look for the money. You know, what I like to say is people that bitch about talking about, conspiracies. It was one hell of a conspiracy for $3 trillion to go missing from the Afghan war. Missing. Absolutely untraceable. Gone. Lost. Nobody knew where it went. Nobody was aware it was gone. Yet, one day before the 9/11 attacks, as Rummy sat in Congress and tried to defend the fact that he didn't know where it was. Yet weeks later, we launch a full-scale invasion of Iraq. You going to tell me that that war wasn't funded? Possibility of it funded without some of that money? Hey, that's a hell of a conspiracy to get rid of that money or funnel it into something else. They do it all the time. I mean, look at WTC 7. Number 7 building went down. All the records for Enron. All of that fiasco, gone. Disappeared. Like it never existed. Almost no one brought to justice. And people lost. Gold missing from the basement, the vaults of the Twin Towers. No trace of it. Not a big puddle from all the hot fires, the jet fuel that burned the buildings that made them all fall down, all that concrete and steel. Missing. Gone. Millions. Maybe more. I don't remember the exact number right now. I mean, fuck. Bin Laden. Let's talk about the hijackers. Let's talk about Bin Laden being the guy who masterminded the plan. Why in the fuck, when every flight was grounded in the United States, were the Bin Ladens on a plane in U.S. airspace being flown out of the country? Out of the country. The Bin Laden family. Wouldn't you think you'd want to keep those people around to question them? You think old Osama was a bad apple, a black sheep? Come the fuck on, people. Let's put on your fucking thinking caps. Government wouldn't lie to us, wouldn't kill those people for their own gain, their own power. Really? The number of false flag attacks and regime changes that the U.S. CIA and a number of other classified security branches have been involved in, created, and carried out across the world for years, many, many years. Much of this stuff is unclassified, public record now. Look the shit up. It just doesn't make any sense. I could go on, but I won't. I think I've said enough. And listen, if you're too wrapped up in your Starbucks or your iPhones or whatever the fuck it is, and many of you have lives and kids and jobs, we all do, that take up our time, a lot of our time. But if you're too wrapped up in some of these things to really question these events and the fact that since they've happened, it polarized the way that we as a citizenry are treated in this country with the Patriot Act, the FISA bill, many of these things. I mean, they have a manifesto, for fuck's sake. The Project for the New American Century. There's a manifesto out there calling for a new Pearl Harbor. Jesus Christ, when are some of you people going to wake up and smell the toast burning? I can't help you with that. You have to do it for yourself. Admit to yourself that these things are questionable. That there's holes, gaps, misfires, and things that don't connect. Just fucking admit it. Don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid. That's all I've got, folks. For now. All right. MCON 2112. Take care.